What's good with it? It's your boy, Simon Phoenix. This is Shots Fired. What up, what up, what up? So, you know me, I'm always digging off in the magic bag. So I dig off into the magic bag. I had somebody who I hold real dear to my heart. One of my main man, Hot Rod on the Hook, hit me, say, yo, bro, I know this dude, you know what I'm saying? He trying to get some promotion. He looking for somebody to, look out, bro. He want to be talked to. I said, man, send me his music, right? So I go through the music, you know me. I'm listening. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I feel this. So then after I became his friend, I started catching his videos. So I was catching his videos. I was like, oh, okay. The lights is definitely on. This man is bright. So I was like, I definitely got to get him on the show. Now I got to get him on the show. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Eli Rogers. What's good with you?
What's happening, homie? How's it going?
I can't complain, man. Maintaining, staying in my lane. You know what they say. Mind your business, or the business that belongs to you. That's what I be doing, baby. I'm chilling.
That's the vibe. That's how you stay ahead of the game.
For sure. So let's dig off into it. So you are a hip hop artist. Is that correct?
Yep, yeah, my stage name is ER the Maker, but I mean, I would like to say that I'm probably a little bit more than that. So, some of the other skills that I have is shooting videos, editing them, marketing. I like to do marketing and manage ad campaigns. I also do a lot of crypto news videos on YouTube and stuff of that sort. But my profession, I'm trying to get into the real estate game right now. That's what I really want to do.
Okay. So, in other words, you're a man with way too many hats, brother. Good God.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
It's all the fun one purpose at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And that's to just build a brand sufficient enough where I don't have to work. But the reality is, I know that it costs a lot of money to really, break a record into the market of where, you can really create a living off music. Or you can sign a record label deal, but I don't want to do that. I want to own everything. I think ownership is powerful.
Well, we talk about that all the time on the show. Yes, ownership is super, super, super important. That you being in control of your destiny, no matter who you may be, is the most monumental thing you can do for yourself and generations to come behind you. And, when you talk about a brand, that's where the interest come in, because as a artist, you can be making, let's say you could be an artist and pull in 50 grand a year off hip hop, but you pulling in another 50 grand a year off of merch. Then you turn around and you are making money because you producing beats, or you're making money because you are helping people in the background doing videos, so there's many avenues to get to the bread. And that's what I mean by you wearing so many hats, as I see it. Like, you can always peep out the people who are entrepreneurs. So why don't you talk more to me about the music? Let's start there, and then let's work our way into the other streams of income.
Sounds like a plan. What about the music exactly?
So I guess let's start here. Let's start with, when did you start dropping bars? When did you start doing hip hop? Where'd that come from?
High school. Yeah, I had a homie named Tim who would always do that stuff at like the lunch table and stuff, and, make beats on the table with the pens, all that kind of stuff. And,
classic. Everybody goes through it. Classic. You either got the pen guy or you got a beatboxer. One of the two, if not at the same time.
Yeah, or people that could rap simultaneously, while they're doing the beats with the pen on the table. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. I want to say one of the craziest scenes of someone seeing that's been videotaped and shown all around the world is like Sugar Free. Sugar Free got a video of him doing that, where he's like in jail and he's rapping and snapping on the table and he's shredding, and people are like, people can rap like that? I'm like, man, you'd be surprised how many really dope people it is in the world that have that talent. So that was the opening of the door for you?
Yeah, and I mean, I grew up playing basketball. Just really loved basketball, and I think when you see players like rest in peace Kobe Bryant, him rapping. You've seen Shaq make songs, and Ron Artest one rap, and then even Dame Lillard. So I think that every basketball player that doesn't make it definitely wants to rap, and vice versa. There's probably a lot of rappers that want to hoop. 2 Chainz, for example, Master P. He played in the preseason game for the Raptors back in the day.
So, yeah. Master P snuck his way into the league, and then he had a promising career playing for the tier right under the NBA, whatever that was. Master P was like giving people that work at that level. So shout out to the Godfather. Real talk, bro. He was giving cats that work at that level. So I give props where props due. So
yeah, he definitely made the most of his brand.
Definitely. So let me ask you this. So what was your first studio experience? What brought you into the booth? What got you to say, okay, I want to do a song?
Well, I was about to turn, I believe, 14. Okay. And you ever heard of the software Cakewalk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I went to like Best Buy and got Cakewalk and like some kind of weird microphone. But I mean, a lot of my family or my extended family has made music. Like my dad was in a rock band. My cousin Michael, he was in a Next to None. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They were like a little local pop group.
It sounds real familiar, man. That sounds real familiar. So continue.
But yeah, man. So I would say my first studio experience was just like recording myself, and that was before they had SoundCloud or these other different digital outlets that everybody could use. I mean, I'll make rap songs and beats on there and then post them on MySpace.
You was a MySpace guy. Got you.
Yeah, that was like my very first experience recording. But I mean, I was really terrible. I was really bad.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's anything like that you can just pick up. You definitely have to spend time making your craft right. So.
Well, it's a lot of things to learn within the realm of being in hip hop and having respect for where you are and what you do. Because I always tell cats, like, it's dudes that from a purely MC point of view, people could be like, he trash. You know what I'm saying? He has no verbal skills whatsoever. This is not it. But that person can make hits. It's some people who they're not the greatest rapper per se, but they make hits. They make good songs. And you have to respect that. Like, it is what it is.
And I would say that's a certain kind of intelligence in its own category. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, yeah, it's definitely a really special ability. I mean, to do it over and over and over again too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Really got to do that.
I mean, it's people. I mean, look, come on, man. It's dudes that pop out once a year that's featured on somebody's song and it be a hit. That all I got to say is Juicy J.
Yeah, Juicy J had that run for a minute.
I mean, bro, he still do it. At least once a year, he's on somebody's song that's a hit. It'd be a legitimate hit.
Man, that's everybody loves Juicy J.
You know what I'm saying? After a while, bro, that's not like, oh, man. I mean, like, to be honest, it's not like they're going to get him from the viewpoint of saying, like, he's super duper famous, you getting a fame rub, right? Like, me and you. Yeah, go ahead. The fact that
he's building a sufficient enough brand so that he can still get paid doing what he loves to do. May not be $20 billion, but if he's walking home and still feeding his family and living his life, the same. Is that more what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is more from the fact of like his artwork and his ability to perfectly give us the party, give us the I'm having a good time feeling as an artist makes him special in compared to any other artist. He brings that one thing to the table. If you're looking for somebody to co-sign the party for you, you go get Juicy J. If you the rapper talking about, yeah, I'm having a good time, we smoking, we drinking, rah, 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 and it's a party song, you bring Juicy J and he perfectly fits in to everybody liking him. And I find it to be hilarious because my 20-year-old daughter is like, Juicy J is one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah,
strictly because he's the party guy.
Well, I've never really looked at it like that, but I mean, yeah, there's not a lot of. I mean, even though there is a lot of like niche specified rappers, yeah, and I always think about like Waka Flock, you know what I'm saying, and those rappers that are really hype. But yeah, that is funny because yep, he does do that. Definitely does come back from now and then. And then T-Pain too. You know what I'm saying? He faded out for a minute, but.
Yeah, but I think T-Pain's was more in the realm of kind of being pushed out of the game because so many people found a way to do what he did. You know, so if you're a guy who can actually sing, and people have heard T-Pain can really sing, that if you're that guy and you're musically inclined and you say, oh, I'm gonna bring back what Roger from Zappin' Roger did, and you make a bunch of hits, and then technology catches up to the point where I at my house can use auto tunes and everybody's rapping at their house, then you cut him out instantly. So then you just had everybody do what he was doing. So it was hard for him to continue to eat in a niche he made for himself if everybody's going to do what I'm doing because technology caught y'all up.
Yeah, that is true. I can't argue with that.
You know what I'm saying? So it was unfair to him. They took his slot. I think it's a lot of good rappers that are niche rappers. We just don't pay attention that they're niche rappers. And then there's people who transcend that they can give you anything at any time. It's like gangster rap is a niche of hip hop. That if you certain people you want to listen to them rap because they give you the bravado feeling. Where other rappers you want to listen to them because they the party guy. They're hey, I'm having a great time. Like think about it. How long Pitbull done been in the game? All Pitbull do is jump on the track and be like, we having a great time over here. And you like, yep, I'm with you, Pitbull. And the average person will be like, I ain't banging Pitbull whole album. But I guarantee you, if you go to a concert and put Bills there, you having a great time and you didn't feel like you lost money.
That is 100%. Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I think like as artists, you can find your niche and then make your niche like you was talking about making that brand. So I want to talk more to you about your brand because I'm going to tell you my song for me solo. That's my joint. Like I listened to the other things and I was like, okay, yeah, he's spitting. I got the solo and I was like, oh yes, this the one. This is it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I wanted to talk to you about your brand. Like you were talking to me, you brought up doing YouTube. And so my interest is, did YouTube spark off for you based off the fact that you were rapping and then you said, ooh, I can figure out how to make videos? Like, was that the idea behind going to YouTube?
No, I originally, so it's funny, when I first started like rapping, I had this idea that if I got 1 million views, then like I'd be set. You know what I'm saying? I'd get the right attention and be able to sell whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or I thought that I'd get lucky and just make a video and then just shoot up to 1 million views, and that's not the way it works. You got to have a huge marketing budget to run ads on YouTube to drive traffic and build a fan base. But that was my original intention, was just to keep creating music videos and keep spending a lot of ad dollars. And at the time, like I was in like a really whack position. I just made tons of bad decisions, did tons of dumb shit for like the first probably like 8-9 years of my career. So I was like, wow, I really got to get serious about this and get a budget because it does cost money. So that's where I'm at as far as like getting the budget to do so, because it does cost a lot of money. Now it costs about a penny per view in like specific cities. Used to about 3 or 4 years ago. Now it's 5 cents a penny. So the market's going to become, even though it seems competitive because it's oversaturated, you still have the ability to set yourself apart. You know what I mean? But with all this, especially with all the pandemic stuff going on, I think online advertising and marketing is really the best option. But to answer that question, I guess more of a short-term answer, how I got into just making videos other than doing rap was because of the fact that you can monetize your channel once you get 1,000 subscribers. And I think it's like 40 hours watched or 400 hours watched. Not entirely sure, but I just started investing in crypto back in January. And that's what I make a lot of my videos about. And I'm not really I try to stay away from like giving financial advice. Just kind of go on there and tell people what I invest in, and like reading news to them about the coin, help them understand like the purpose of the currency and all that stuff.
Okay.
That has generated me so many amounts of views organically where I'm not spending money to get that traffic. So not only is it beneficial for my music, but YouTube pays off the monetization for every 1,000 views. You get a certain dollar amount based on your niche and based on which country the views are coming from. Now, the reason I'm talking about crypto is because it pays more than, music or anything else. Talking about finance, it gets you hella paid. You know what I'm saying? So literally you can make $700 in a month or more for just 100,000 views. Now, once I've seen that some of my videos would generate 15, 20,000 views, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, whoa. Because now I'm making checks off YouTube, and it's like, wow, because this is what I always wanted to do, and I didn't believe that I was ever going to get to that point. But now I'm like, man, I want more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
That's how I get other videos. It's like a game.
Yeah, it's a game. It's definitely a game. We was just having a similar conversation about Kevin Samuels and the ability to be able to not only get your fan base to move, but to have so many views where now it's the major self-sufficient that you getting back order checks. So not only are you getting checks for current material that's being produced, but you still catching them checks from people going and watching the same video where they get put on to you.
Oh yeah, and then wait till he writes a book. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so, that's what I meant earlier when I was talking about other streams of income with you. Like, that's the big thing. That's what made my eyes kind of sparkle when I was looking at what you had going on as an artist, because you're a hip hop artist, but you understand that, okay, I can make this much doing hip hop. I can also make this much doing crypto. Oh, okay. Well, I can still sling shirts and stuff. Okay. Now I can, if somebody want to have somebody help them with their video, I could do that. I could charge a fee for that. Now you set up 4 to 5 streams of income that you're not dependent on just you getting up and go to work every day, or you're not just dependent on hip hop to pay the bill. You are saying, hey, look, if you diversify and have all these streams, that makes it better. And that's why I was trying to bring that point.
Oh yeah. Get any kind of money you can. You know what I'm saying? If you make a living off, from off the internet at home, do it. My biggest problem was I had an ego problem for a really long time because my channel was monetized for 4 or 5 years. I didn't start making videos like this until February of this year. So I'm like, it's literally this whole past. If I would have been going as hard as I do now for the past 4 years. You're talking about, man, I'd be 30,000, 40,000 subscribers. On top of that, you could imagine the money that comes in with every video. If it's, it was 100,000 for, and you get $700 for it. I see a lot of YouTubers that are, doing 100,000 off 1, 2, 3, 4 videos.
Yeah.
Then it becomes volume based.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You start cranking out a lot of volume. You're going to get hella paid.
You ain't got to explain to me, man. The crazy part is I love having dudes like you come onto the show because that's what I was looking at. I was looking at that and saying, from a creator point of view, when was I going to move to YouTube, or what was I going to put on YouTube? And for me, I was like, I'm just waiting to have a space to be able to invite people to sit down in a comfortable space and do the show where I'm still 100% in control of everything. Because I've had conversations with people who they'll wind up getting to the point where they can do a podcast. They got the idea and everything, but since they didn't go out and buy all the equipment, they don't control their medium. That someone else is still going to give them the yay or nay if that's too risky. I can get on here and cuss and act a fool if that's what I chose to do because it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
go ahead.
I think there's a platform that you can put on your phone too. It's called Anchor.
Yeah, Anchor sucks. Anchor sucks.
Is it bad?
Well, Anchor sucks from the point of view of like, for a person like me that says, all right, I'm going to have multiple people come to my show. make in phone calls, have additional sound effects, and then be able to go back and edit it if need be, add things to it, so on and so forth. Anchor makes it so that the secondary leg of work you could have avoided if you wouldn't have recorded using Anchor to go in. And then they want you to give them a certain amount of data because it's free. So they're only going to allow you to upload a certain amount of stuff. So depending on your creator level is when it stops being free.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because see, what people don't understand is when you do a podcast, basically what you're really doing is you're sending this information out. So I'll record my show, and then I send my show to my distributor, and then that distributor holds my show. I pay them for the space to hold my show and then distribute it. So when you hit the button on Spotify to play it, they record that. Spotify basically technically called them and said, all right, play that song or play that thing for us, which is my podcast. You see what I'm saying? And so you're paying for storage space basically, and that's what people don't understand. It's like, yes, I could really at my house build a super powerful computer, but for me to hold all my shows and funnel all of that in would cost me more money than it would to pay the little measly $30 to go to Libsyn to have them do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But I still control everything. Libsyn doesn't tell me what to play, how to play it, what to talk about, what not to talk about. I do whatever I want. Libsyn don't have a problem because I'm paying them for a specific service. Whereas like you as an artist or you as a content creator can go and like say, you go to your local downtown facility. In most major cities, they have community television. Well, they got all the stuff there for you to do it, but they're going to tell you that they want you on their platform because it draws streams to them, keeps them relevant. But within you doing that service for them, they going to get to dictate what you got going on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's on their platform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that makes it from a content creator point of view, more issues, more problems. Just makes it harder for you to do.
Yep, that makes sense.
Oh, damn, I'm hitting the mic. Sorry, fans. I'm bumping into the mic. I apologize. My bag. But, so, that's kind of interesting when it comes to that. And that's why when it comes to guys like you who will give me the YouTube breakdowns, I'm always very interested. And I know a lot of my fans are too, because they're trying to be content creators. They're watching what people are doing and they're taking notes. And so it's always interesting to get people like you on to say, okay, it's this or it's that.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it all just comes down to one, providing value is really big. That's really key. And then cranking out volume. And then lastly, there's, SEO, the search engine optimization, which is created in the hashtag. Now, there's a tool called TubeBuddy.com, so TUBE buddy.com. And basically what you can do is connect that or their software into your YouTube channel so that you can see what other YouTube videos are using for their hashtags. So you go and find the ones that are, that have the most views, that are posted the most recent. And if they have a SEO score of, 90 to 100, which is really good, you just go copy all their hashtags, put it in your videos. And then that's what will help you generate more traffic organically. Because if I just post it, I'm going to get 50 views. But if I use the TubeBuddy, that's where, I get 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000.
I got you, because now your video pops up when their video pops up. When they request that or look for that thing, your video pops up as part of things that are similar to it. Got you.
Yep.
See?
Yep. Because
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if they're in the first 5 videos, then you're gonna be somewhere in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I know that when I go to look at a video, the things that are propagated next is always interesting to me, because I was like, how do YouTube know what to put under the thing I'm already looking for? And so that's very interesting to me, because that's the type of game I always tell people, when you come on the show and you be dropping knowledge, you're giving out information, that's game. So that's the kind of game the people who listen to my show, they be looking for, like, oh, we ain't know that. Now I know that. Now I know to do that. So when that pop up, I could pop up. Got you. Now I can get to 1,000 organically from people who just being curious because those things popped up and said, oh, well, I'm gonna listen to the next one. Or do what I do. You know, you get to play in one YouTube video and then you listen to what you're listening to or watching, and then you move on before you change the video. The next video starts playing. Then you're like, oh, it was on the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna watch this too. I'm gonna see what this person say.
Yep, and then another gem that I was gonna say is, so this is what I'm in the process of doing. Like now that I've done it with my personal brand and like I'm seeing a return on it, I'm like, I want to create more, but just in different niches. So I'm like, right now I'm trying to create a dog channel, with just dog videos. And what I do is I'll go and grab TikTok and then edit them on my phone and upload them to YouTube and then edit the information. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run ads on these videos until I get the amount of subscribers and hours time is watched. Which will probably cost me like $1,000 over time. But once you get it done, you can make the amount of money that you can make in these certain different niches are more than what I can make off crypto. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because now what you're doing is you're setting up sub streams off of the original idea from the original stream. So all you did was take that original idea and say, okay, now I'm going to duplicate it and I'm just going to put this twist on it. So it's kind of like an easy way to see it is, remember when you was a kid and you would get a toy and it could be Batman, right? And then when you went to go get the Batman, there would be a Batman in a black suit, classic Batman. But then they have a crazy color Batman, like neon color Batman, and it'd be a red color suit Batman. And you would never see these Batmans like really in a cartoon or in the comics. But the toy makers will make them because that was an easy flip, right? As a kid, they was hoping that you would be dumb enough to walk in and say, ooh, it's Arctic Freeze Batman. I need him because I got the Mr. Freeze toy, and now I can fight with Arctic Freeze. And that's how they tricked you into buying the exact same mode. So the original mode is the exact same thing. You just added a couple different things to it, and it's a whole new toy. It's like getting a better one is like you get Optimus Prime, and then they make a black one, and then it's evil Optimus Prime. It's the negative universe Optimus Prime, whatever name they want to add to it, but it's still the same toy, right?
Oh, it's still like that, and sometimes I'll be getting multi kinds of Batmans for my son, Spider-Man.
Yeah, definitely. And so you're doing the same thing for one of your streams of revenue. And I think that's what's cool, though, is because that's what business is doing. You're mimicking that without knowing it, but that's exactly what businesses do. You could be in the soap business. As soon as you start to profit off the original soap, what you do, come out with a different smell. You know what I mean? Oh man, we banging with that fresh Irish smell. All right, we gonna make roses and tulips next. See if that sells. Oh, that's selling. Okay, bet.
You got Hershey's with almonds. You got Hershey's with pecans. You got
exactly Hershey to put everything in there they can. We got a white chocolate recipe. All right, put some chips in there and some cookies. Call it cookies and cream. All right, we got something with nuts in it. Yeah, we use almonds, and we got something with pecans. All right, let's do something with pecans and caramel. That'll work. And all they're doing is just taking one element out and switching it in for another element, but the core element is the same. The original thing is the same, and they're just switching a little. Okay, how about this? Let's take a quick commercial break. Got to get a shout out for my sponsors. You know how that go. When you got a sponsor, you got to shout out the sponsor. So we got to do the shout out for the sponsor. And then after that, I got some more hip hop questions for you and some video questions because I was really curious about your videos too. So we're going to do the video commercial and then we right back. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Stock the Bar Vodka, made right here in Michigan, distilled from Michigan red winter wheat. The red winter wheat provides this drink with one of the smoothest flavors known to man. Stock the Bar Vodka, premium quality. Our motto is smooth taste with a purpose. And now, the official sponsor of Shots Fired Podcast, Stock the Bar Vodka. Pour up a glass. Drink with a purpose. Hey! Remember back in the days when you used to jump on the dance floor when you heard a groove like this, but your body just won't let you do it any longer? Well, hey, I got the situation set for you, baby. What you need to do is get with Earl's Aspercreme. That's right, Earl's Aspercreme. Earl's Aspercreme is made from the finest ingredients in America. That's right, here in America, baby. And anyway, Earl's Aspercreme is good for those hurting knees, that bad back, those elbows, and those shoulders. And if you don't want to take it from me, then go ahead and listen to one of Earl's happy customers.
Let me tell you, get yourself some Earl's Aspercreme, baby. I had a fracture, fucked up hip. I was sitting there in a nursing home of all places. I sat there, I was up and down that nursing home after I sat there and took some Earl's Aspercreme. And I ain't no nurse, baby. Earl's Aspercreme gave me that marathon strength.
That's right, Earl's Aspercreme. Side effects may include bigger balls, increased sex drive, harder erection, larger semen release, growth of facial hair, slide while you're walking, and a strong pullout game. That's right, baby. Earl's Aspercreme, here to help you get your groove back.
Brought to you by Mindbender Incorporated in association with Ashy Radio.
Welcome back to Shots Fired with Simon Phoenix.
Yo, it's your boy Simon Phoenix. I'm in the building with ER the Maker and just chopping it up about cryptocurrency, hip hop. You already know how I do. So let me ask you this, sir. Let me pick your brain. So when you was doing the first video, how much work was that? I got to see one of the videos. I want to say you was in front of a blue muscle car.
I mean, that was not much work at all.
Okay. Because I was looking at the quality of the video. It looked real nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think once you have, a decent enough camera, it's pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? Camera that I got is a Canon TI3, which is only like $300, but it definitely it makes miracles. So my girlfriend actually shot it for me though, and then I just put it on the computer and edited it myself.
I mean, you look nice, bro. I was enjoying the video. I know that technology has taken it to a point where we can definitely make videos at a cheaper rate than we ever could before. So, and be high quality. I do get that, but yeah, it looked really nice. So I seen a bunch of videos and I seen a bunch of songs and I listened to probably about 5 or 6. And like I said, I kept being drawn back to Solo. And everything about it just made it to be very interesting from a hip hop head point of view. Like, I enjoyed the hook. I was drawn in by the album cover for it. I thought that was a nice little look right there, being a Star Wars kind of guy. And so what I want to ask you from an artist point of view is, when you was doing that song, was that song inspired by Solo, or did the Solo part kick in secondary?
No. I mean, actually, it kicked in secondary. I came up with that bar like I was just vibing to the beat, and I'm vibing like in the polo. You know what I mean? I just do one bar at a time, just write that way and just listen to it over and over again. But I had no idea that I was gonna. I didn't know it was gonna sound like that.
So basically, you was just in the kitchen cooking, and you didn't even know what you was stirring up. You was like, it's gonna just be delicious in the end, I guarantee.
Well, to an extent, because like once I get to a certain vibe in the court, like you do gotta have some kind of strategy to it. You can't be entirely blind to it, because then it's not gonna make no sense. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I after I wrote the first few bars, then it was Solo, and I'm like, man, what do I know about Solo? You know what I'm saying? And it's because of the fact that I don't really got time to spend around a whole lot of other people because I rather get money. That's just my own perspective about doing things. So that's where the whole solo thing is, comes in. But I'm like, how can, what can I incorporate that with? Because it all comes back down to marketing. Now, the reality is I'm pushing my music to LA and New York right now and only those markets. But what I should be doing is also taking that video and pushing it to Star Wars fans.
You should.
Right, that hip hop.
You should.
Yeah. But yeah, anytime you make a record, you do. Well, I guess it all depends back on what niche you're in. You know what I mean? Because there's things that are real specific. There's things that are not specific. So generally, things that are like already in hip hop culture, are a part of the street life. Like you could be a street rapper, and you don't need to really necessarily target certain things like I'm gonna have to because I'm not in the street. You know what I'm saying? So it's not gonna make sense for me to tap into that audience. So I have to be more creative in the marketing sense of that. I half-assed it because what I should have done is I should have got on Amazon and then got the Han Solo Halloween outfit. You know what I mean?
And then dressed up as Han, and then dressed up as Solo yourself.
Yup, and then then maybe I should have went out to like Vegas or Utah or somewhere in the desert. Like that's really the right way to do it. But sometimes I just like to talk my shit.
I mean, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with any artist talking their shit. Don't ever think there's something wrong with that. And I'm telling you, the end result was still dope. The idea behind what you did made it cool is because it was a song where you talking about doing things solo, but you slide it in so cleverly where when we're listening to it, we get the premise. We moving solo, you know what I'm saying? Do your dirt by your lonely, that type of attitude, the lone wolf. And all of those things bring us back to Han Solo. Because he's all of those things. He's that guy. He's the dude that I don't really need a bunch of people around me. I got my mans, but he don't even talk. He growl. So, you know what I'm saying? Think about it. Like, I know most people won't say it out loud, but I mean, Han Solo is basically the dude with his dog. Out on the lone, you know what I'm saying? Out on the lone trail, doing what he want to do. He doing scoundrel shit. I'm stealing shit. I'm hiding shit. I'm transporting stuff. I ain't got no business. All of that is when you break it down, is part of the culture of hip hop. So you still was in all of the realms you were supposed to be in. You just add, like I say to people, you just added another flavor to it. I find it very interesting though.
Yeah, but I mean, it just all comes. I just mean as far as like a marketing aspect.
Well, that's cool. Like. Because that's what I want to ask you next is about marketing. So, absolutely. So this is my question with that, right? From a marketing point of view, you was talking to a rapper. Let's say you're talking to a rapper that he got some funding. Say he got 30 grand to blow, and he like, yo, I got a project, it's done. How would I go about marketing? What's my best plan to get the maximum amount of exposure for myself? Because I know a lot of artists who come on the show who are just starting and they're curious about, well, if I acquire this money, how could I spend it to help myself?
Absolutely. So it all goes back down to your original goal, because you kind of have to pick your audience, and you pick your audience before you even create the song, because then you're going to have the best chance of people gravitating towards you. Right. So, when I think of New York, even the fashion, I think, maybe a puffer jacket with a ski mask, like a beanie, I'm thinking a Timberland boots, you know what I'm saying? And then you go to shoot the song in New York, and then, because the reason that that's necessary is because when you go to run ads, you don't want to be shooting a heavy machine gun or a shotgun and be spraying all over the place. You want a sniper. You want to pick a target and keep shooting at them. Because the more you're shooting at one target, the more you're going to hit. You know what I mean? If you keep trying to hit everything at once, then bullets are going to go everywhere. And it's not going to make sense, because it comes down to touring. Right? You want to put all your dollars in one area or one city first, because then that's going to blow you up in that city where you'll get booked there. Once you start getting booked there, then you don't have to keep spending your ad dollars in that area. Then you move on to the next city and the next city. So ideally, like I said, if I was going to do that, I would go to New York. The best thing would to try to get, a major, what I mean? Like, okay, let's do independent budget first. Independent budget. If you're from Grand Rapids or you're in Detroit, go to Detroit. That'd be the first thing that I'd tell you. Well, it just all depends on the market, Simon. It depends what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I get it. I get what you're trying to say. You like it's so complex for you to answer it because you're looking at all the variables. And I was trying to make the variables smaller for you, and I still didn't do a very good job of it. What I was trying to ask was more along the lines with like, I gave you $30,000. I'm from Grand Rapids. I want to shoot 3 videos because I want to push 3 singles. After paying for my video budget, would I have a friend that's like you who understands how to do it, and we can do it dirt cheap? So how do I now advertise being these are the variables? I'm from Grand Rapids. I got $30,000 to spend. I already have videos on deck. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. So, okay, the first thing I would do is if I have $30,000, like obviously I would get the Detroit beat. That'd be the first thing I would do because I noticed a lot of some of the rappers already do that. So if that's the sound that you like, I would take a ride to Detroit. I would get a major feature from like Sada Baby or somebody that's more like Class C or Class D, Class B. You know what I'm saying on the list as far as being a rapper. Someone that's not really I'm trying to think of that man's name. Team Eastside or somebody like that.
No. You're misinterpreting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is their project's done. They're done recording. They're ready. Their project is done. They've shot the pictures. They've done all the things they're gonna do. They just got $30,000 strictly as a marketing budget.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought you were talking about from ground up with $30,000.
No, not for ground up. Just saying like I'm an artist. I happen to be from Grand Rapids. My project is done. I have video done. I got my pictures done. All of those things are done. There's everything that I think is going to look good to help me sell. I'm already there. I just want to know what could I do with my $30,000 to.
Yep, easy. All right, this is what I would say to do. The first thing I would do is I would run an ad campaign targeting all countries. Now, why would I do that? Because then you're going to be able to get a higher view count for cheaper, right? Because if it's 5 cents to do it per city, it's only per penny to do it in like India, South Africa, Australia, Pakistan, and all these other different countries that are going to generate you subscribers, and they're going to generate you a lot of views. Now, if I had 30,000, the first thing I would do is I would take 5,000 of that and generate 500,000 views during all countries, because then you're going to take the other 25,000 and put it all into Detroit, right? Because you want to blow such a big buzz in Detroit that it's getting shared in the internet and by everybody that lives in Detroit, that it's starting to then get shared in Grand Rapids, right? Then it's starting to get shared in Cleveland, and then it moves to Wisconsin. And that's how the buzz starts. But the reason that you want to hit Detroit so much is because of the omnipresence. So 5,000 in all the countries, and then another 25,000 in just Detroit, because then people in Detroit are going to call you to book you, and I guarantee that those major promoters have friends in other cities that will come and book you too. So,
thank you. We appreciate that, because I wouldn't have spent the $30,000 like that. So I appreciate that information, and I think that a lot of the artists and people who are interested in the business portion of hip hop would appreciate that type of information. So we would say thank you.
Yeah, and you don't. I mean, obviously, it would be stupid to spend all of it, because you could build a brand in there even bigger, right? Without having to spend that much money, if that makes sense. So let's say it only costs 10,000, 5,000 from all countries, and another 5,000 in just Detroit, and you're blowing up in Detroit where you're getting booked, and people are paying you $3,000. Then you hit the next, the next major city in the next state near it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then just let it go, let that work from that point of view, saying that say you can be booked in Detroit, you could be booked in Cincinnati, You could be booked in Cleveland. You can be booked in the outskirts of Chicago.
Yeah, it's because it's omnipresent, right? Because it all comes back to touring, and this is why. If you walk into a building and you go to perform, you want to be able to fill that thing out because that's where your value comes from. And if you can sell a whole building of 3,000 people at $20, the opportunity is amazing. What is that? $60,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, there's some overhead.
Right. You probably gonna lose 50% of it, but if you could walk away with 30 grand, and people show up to listen to you, you know, and we already know how people do opening acts. A lot of times, opening acts don't get paid, so you get a local opening act, get them to do their show, and they don't get paid. Go ahead.
I would say once you get promoters calling from you in Detroit, you don't necessarily have to go work with those promoters. Well, I mean, you might have to call up, what's the dude that does the no-fly zone? We know you got to put some money in Trick's pocket. You're throwing a show in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? You're not from there. And you can't just undercut those promoters. But that's what I would do. I would just go, you know, book the venue myself and say, you know, I'm sorry, we can work together, but first I'm going to get mine, right? That way that you can get money off your buzz, then come back and work with the other promoters.
For sure.
But yeah, definitely pay Trick.
You're like, no, but for sure, pay Trick. Whatever you do, when you go to Detroit, pay Trick. Don't mess around. You hate for you. Hate for you to get slapped up over bread, bro. And I don't want that to happen to you.
And it's all about touring because that's where the most money is. It's where you can sell your merch and all that kind of stuff. And so if you don't want to build a tour too far out, you don't want to be, because then you got to spend a lot of money on gas in the hotel. You don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is if you hit the big cities and the other people see, you know what I mean? Because I see artists that get booked in Detroit and in 6 cities in Metro Detroit in the same 10 days. Now you're talking about, you know, if you're hitting 60 cities, you know, in 60 days and you're $3,000 a pop, man.
You ain't got to explain to me, man. I've seen it done. I know what independent artists can do to make money.
Yeah, no, it can definitely
pop. It can definitely pop. It's there for that. So I feel it. I know.
Yeah, and I would say just have a set budget and see if it, you know, put it in there, and if it, because you also have to know if it's not working, it's not working. And that's why it comes all down to looking at the data. And that's why you would hire somebody. They understand if you're running a campaign in Detroit and it's not it's not doing what you intended to do, you know what I'm saying, then you're wasting money.
Exactly.
Then you switch to a different market. So
yeah, and then you switch to something else and so on and so forth. So
yeah,
for every person I get on the show, after I hit them with a bunch of questions about what they're going on and whether it's music or them writing or so on and so forth, I always try to remember to ask them a bogus question, right? So yeah, I ask everybody a bogus question, and the question has nothing to do with them. So it's not all the way out of your realm of hip hop, cryptocurrency, different ways to get money, all the good things we talked about today. This is the bogus question. So my bogus question is this: what is your favorite Hanna-Barbera cartoon?
Oh man, what is a Hanna-Barbera cartoon?
So Hanna-Barbera was a cartoon company, and they're a cartoon studio. And Hanna-Barbera was bought by Ted Turner. So a lot of Hanna-Barbera cartoons are your classics, such as the Flintstones and that.
Like the Jets.
Yes, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo. All of those cartoons that were in reruns when we were kids, that is all Hanna-Barbera. Huckleberry Finn, Space Ghost, all that kind of stuff. The Herculoids, any of those weird cartoons that you might have seen when you was a kid and you was like, well, I know this is kind of old. A lot of those cartoons were Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
I got to pull up the list real quick so I can answer that better.
You need some time. You want me to hit you with the Jeopardy music? Do, do, do. Do 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 Hey man, I gotta keep the people who listen entertained, man. I can't just have dead air. And I don't have that dumbass sound effects. You know how much money that costs, bro? Don't do that. Don't do that. We poor over here at this show. We just got a real sponsor. Shout out to Stock to Bar. We just got a real sponsor, bro. You gotta hold on. We ain't rich yet. We can't do that. Do. And your answer, sir?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. I would probably say Scooby-Doo. I watch a lot of Scooby-Doo. So.
Okay, I mean, you can go with Scooby-Doo. No one's going to send in no hate mail. There's no one going to send an email and be like, hey, man, look, I was going to fuck with ER the Maker, but
he like Scooby-Doo.
He like Scooby-Doo. I don't fuck with Scooby-Doo, bro. Ain't nobody going to say that, bro. Everybody loves Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is that deal. That's not my answer, though. For me, that's not, it's not my answer. My favorite Hanna-Barbera cartoon is Blue Falcon and Dynomutt. That was my joint. Strictly based off, Dynomutt was a complete idiot and Blue Falcon was the most bogus fake Batman ever. And I always thought it was interesting that they could get away with making such a fake Batman, especially because Hanna-Barbera was responsible for the Super Friends. So that's like most people's superhero first cartoon is the Super Friends. And I was like, y'all just blatantly just bit Batman and they ain't come holler at you about that? Okay. I guess because it's got a silly dog, that's fine. Okay. Gotcha.
What I'm here is they made a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures cartoon here in the 90s. That's crazy.
Oh, bro, Hanna-Barbera pop. They made cartoons like the SWAT Cats in the 90s. Hanna-Barbera was a powerhouse for many years when it comes to animated studios. They were that deal. Let me tell you, I'm a person that's a big cartoon buff.
Dexter's Lab. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Dexter's Lab. DD. Okay. DD. Yeah, they had, bro. They were the major influence for Cartoon Network. So a large portion of the cartoons that came on Cartoon Network were coming out of Hanna-Barbera Studios, even at that time. Most people just don't pay attention. But yeah.
I'm definitely seeing it now. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I asked that question. Like anytime I ask that question, it's something that I know you could really answer. You just don't know you could answer it. But yeah. I thought you was gonna hit me with Dexter's Laboratory. That's what I thought. I thought you was gonna pull it up and then you was gonna see the list, and then you was gonna say, "Oh, Dexter's on here. Dexter's Laboratory for 100, Chuck." I swore that's what I thought you was gonna go with.
Between Dexter, Johnny Bravo, and Scooby-Doo is definitely something I watch a lot of.
Oh, come on, man. Johnny Bravo is one of my favorite guys. I mean, anytime that you could do someone doing a bogus Elvis and secretly a womanizer, but getting his just desserts because it never works, and that got on TV as a cartoon, you got me hooked. Come on, man. I mean, think about everything he's doing is Elvis. And he's shooting his shot at every woman. Every woman on every episode, Johnny Bravo was like, "Hey, baby, let me give you some of my Huckleberry love." And gets the taste slapped out of his mouth all the time. And that is a cartoon? Oh, sign me up for that, man. I want to watch him get beat up on every day because he be having good lines. That's what make it bad. His lines be good. I'll be like, oh, this is great television right here. Well, ER the Maker, excuse me, almost pronounced the last part of your name wrong. And I know you got to say the whole thing like Tribe Called Quest.
Well, originally it used to be just ER, man, but I was like, man, like I can't. You know, every time somebody goes to Google and they type ER, that fucking hospital show comes up. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? The brand's too big. I can't compete with that.
No. So you got to be like, how can I make sure they show up? You know what? I'm ER the Maker. And I like that. That's a nice, it's a nice little topic. I like that. So as I always tell the guests on the show, I super appreciate you coming to the show. Thank you very, very, very much.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, you're very welcome. Anything that you need me to do, let me know. I'm on your team. I'll tell that to all the people that come on the show. Once you get me on the show, you on the team, baby. I'm trying to see you succeed, because if you succeed, then I shall succeed as well. So,
hey, man.
So, I put that out there. So what I've been doing is playing artist music at the end of the show. So you already know I'm going to play solo for him. You already know that's going to pop off. So I'm gonna end with your music, and before I do that, do any shouting out, anybody you want to say thank you through hashtag, places where people can find your content, all that type shit, baby. Go for it.
Man, shout out to Hot Rod for plugging me in for this interview. So, and shout out to God as always, and that's that.
All right. Well, this has been Shots Fired. I have been Simon Phoenix, and I want to thank ER the Maker for coming to the show.
MTCB.
I'm out.
Vibing like, yeah, I'm in the polo. I'm drinking lean till I lean like a cholo. I ride for my queen, ride like I'm Somo. Ass cons, yeah, I've been riding solo. I am so high, then I'm solo. I'm riding with my queen on solo. Denzel with the Malibu, I got the cash on me. You would've thought I was a bank the way I stack on it. Work after work, I've been trying to get a house. Most rappers, yeah, they been stuck up on the couch. Only time you make noise, yeah, is with the loud. And I get it out the mud, what? I just roll around. I'm all about a dollar, John Wick in the slips. I drop gems in the drop until they all stick. What's up? Free game out the wazoo. This ain't a game, yeah, game is really pyro. I'm a beast dog, but I'm times two. Free sugar, y'all, I admire you. Vibing like, yeah, I'm in the polo. I'm drinking lean till I lean like a cholo. I ride for my queen, ride like I'm Somo. Ass cons, yeah, I've been riding solo. I am so high, then I'm solo. I'm riding with my queen on solo. Yeah, I'm screaming death row now. My career nest as scroll now. I'm on the way up, ballin' like a layup. You got my money where? You better pay up. Y'all been sleeping on me while I stay up. It's my time, well then wake up. Well then wake up. Well, yeah, it's my time to wake up. Vibing like, yeah, I'm in the polo. I'm drinking lean till I lean like a cholo. I ride for my queen, ride like I'm Somo. Ass cons, yeah, I've been riding solo. I am so high, then I'm solo. I'm riding with my queen on solo.
Shots fired, Simon Phoenix. Thank you. I holla.